All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, June 8th. We've got a full MLB slate to dive into in today's video, like we always do. I'm going to dive into each and every one of these games. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. Alright, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3 for more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. All right, so don't be fooled by yesterday. Yes, we go 3-3, but it actually ended up being a little bit worse than that appears there. We ended up losing just under a unit, so pretty bad day just because our bigger plays didn't come through. All of those at the top, that are the 3 losses. So that was the Pirates and Royals first 5, the Dodgers team total, Ryan McMahon. Those were all the bigger plays of the day. And then the Diamondbacks came through for us, as did Mike Toglia, but again, a little bit smaller plays. So you know what? Unfortunately, not the best day there. Of course, we follow up a sweeping of the board by something like that. So, you know what? Hopefully do a little bit better tonight. In terms of the ride of the day, though, let's pump in some crowd noise for an OG here on the channel. Parlay Guru comes through with Austin Gomber over 3.5 strikeouts. We have that on the tracker here. That one comes through. We'll drop it to Ching for the vibes. At +107 is what I got it at. So yeah, shout out to Parlay Guru. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, it's simple. Just use that hashtag ride of the day or ROTD down in the comments with your favorite play. I jump on board with one person's play each and every day. If you win, we continue to roll with your play. If you do lose, you get the shout out, but unfortunately you got to face the womp womp on the soundboard there. But looking forward to seeing what Parlay Guru throws at us today. A nice slight plus money cash yesterday, and if you've been on the channel for a while and watching, you know Parlay Guru in the comments. Absolute OG. But what do you say we go ahead and dive into today's slate? Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get rocking here. Game number 1, we have Baltimore taking on the Mets. Brandon Young going up against Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes has been very good this season. I guess you could say he has some struggles on the road, but I wouldn't say too many. Brandon Young isn't really a guy that I'm looking to kind of jump right in and back, right? So I think this is going to be a spot in which I like Baltimore's offense. They're going to get a lot of fastballs out of Brandon Young, 11th in terms of runs above average against that. He's a righty, which they hit righties. They have been struggling against lefties. So yeah, some way, shape, or form, I'm going to be looking at the Mets here. They are on the road. They've only won 43.2% of the games on the road this year, so that's a little scary, but I'm going to say Mets, maybe a team total over. I like it at 3.5, not necessarily 4.5 though, so maybe this is like a parlay piece in which we can find another offense today to match it up with it. But give me the Mets as well as the over, but I don't know if it's as simple as that. We might be looking at like Mets 3.5 parlayed with another team that we think has some really viable offensive opportunities today. Next up, we have Detroit taking on Tampa Bay. Looks like we're going to get Pepio on the mound going up against Jack Flaherty. I would say Pepio honestly has the advantage here, but Jack Flaherty has been good at home, so we'll give him a little bit of credit. The one thing that concerns me if you are backing the Tigers today is that fastball-slider combo. We even talked about it yesterday when Flaherty might have been a potential starter. The Rays hit the fastball well, and they hit the slider well, so I do think that Pepio may have a slight advantage with his slider and fastball combo against his Tigers lineup. So I do like the Rays, especially for the plus money. If we were to roll with this one, it's just going to be a little sprinkle, maybe like a third of a unit or a half unit maximum. I don't mind the Rays to score runs, but I also don't mind the over in the game either. Yes, both these offenses have kind of been up and down, lately, but I do trust that both pitchers are going to throw the fastball and that both bats at least can hit the fastball as well. And the Rays coming off of a loss, I kind of like the spot again. I think these are two fairly similar teams. Now, Detroit has a way better record, but the Rays started really slow, and Detroit's been playing good, but they kind of went through a little bit of a stretch where that offense wasn't looking all that great, right? So hopefully that's going to be the case today, because I do like Tampa Bay to win this one. And then as a secondary lean, maybe taking a peek at that over. But let's not make a mistake here. I liked the over yesterday, and only one team showed up, right? So Hopefully that ain't the case. But yeah, give me Tampa Bay as well as the over. It really comes down to, I do think Pepio is pitching a little bit better than Flaherty, and I think this Tampa Bay offense can get to Flaherty. In fact, his numbers over his career against the current roster aren't all that great. 49 plate appearances, 12% walk rate, 333 average against, a WOBA of 422. I kind of like Tampa Bay today. And perfect time to talk about Novig because that is beating the market right now. You can get that over on Novig at plus 107. Everywhere else, you're looking at like plus 100. So yeah, head over to Novig, guys. That link is down in the description as well as the pinned comment. You're going to get up to, I believe, $25 in bonus cash when signing up as well. So a nice little starter on the bankroll there. But go check it out, guys. If you don't know what it is and you're like a little worried of what the heck is Novig, why would I check it out? It operates very, very similar to your standard sportsbook. It's just another weapon in your arsenal to be able to rely on to odd shop and get the best price. And the good thing, speaking of price, is that this is set up so that Joe Schmoes like me and you are putting lines out there and the odds out there of what we like. You can take the other side. You can create your own, all that stuff. So you're going to beat these sportsbook lines a lot, right? Like I just said, Novig right now offering 107 over on their site, whereas in the market, this is still a plus money play, but plus 101 at DraftKings, plus 100 at FanDuel, plus 100 at Caesars, right? So you're getting that 7 cents of value. And in baseball, that matters so much. I can't express it. With all the plays that you have day to day, those 7 cents are going to matter. So yeah, check it out, guys. Add it to your arsenal. That link will be down below in the description as well as the pinned comment. Now let's jump back into the rest of these games. Yankees taking on the Mariners. Will Warren on the bump going up against Logan Gilbert. This is a tough one because we've had a lot of success this year taking the Yankees at specific prices, right? When they're low and cheap and that type of thing. But the Yankees are on the DMB graveyard right now, meaning they have burned us enough to kind of be weary about rolling with them. So I don't know if we can fully get to the Yankees today. They are coming off a win. They had the day off, so I guess all that is great. But Seattle may be kind of feeling themselves right now. Sweeping Pittsburgh, though Pittsburgh didn't even put up a single run in that series. They've won 7 of their last 3, and they have their man Logan Gilbert on the mound, who is a good pitcher and finally had a really good start after 3 kind of mediocre ones. Will Warren's coming off of a start in which he got smacked around. 10 hits over 4 innings, worth 8 runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Does he bounce back? I'm not all that sure. I mean, he's going to throw the fastball, the sinker, the slider. The sinker, Seattle's #1 in terms of runs above average last 30 days. So while I think I still lean towards the Yankees, they're at home. It's going to be really humid. Could be some home run balls here. I think I lean Yankees. I really don't know if it's enough to get there. But again, usually we're looking at this being like, what a short price for the Yankees. Got to jump on that. Not sure I love it. I think Seattle may have a starting pitching advantage, a potential bullpen advantage, and, if Will Warren doesn't look good, then they might even have an offensive advantage, which is crazy to say. So, yeah, there's enough there for me to probably stick away, but it would be Yankees, just because of, I guess, the fact that we have them at home in a bounce-back spot. And I do think that we're seeing some chance of rain, but sometimes when it's really, really humid, that can help the ball as well, So in terms of a total, I guess I'd lean over just as an original lean, but this one's kind of tough. You could probably tell by the way that I break it down. It's got me kind of questioning my own thoughts here, and we're questioning numbers at that point. Cincinnati taking on Miami. This one made a lot of people a lot of money yesterday because pretty much everywhere you looked, everyone was on Miami, right? Which is obviously good to see. Today, I think this thing comes back down to earth. You do have Yuri Perez on the mound who's going to throw fastballs, which I like Yuri Perez. I actually like a lot of these younger guys in the Miami staff. But Cincinnati does hit the fastball well, and I don't know if they go out there and score 1 run again, right? Like, they've scored 1 run in either 3 or 4 straight games. This offense it's got to be a little bit better than that. But what we know about the Cincinnati offense is they do go on a roller coaster ride. They're scoring a bunch of runs, and then a bunch of games of no runs, and then a bunch of runs. So this could be another game of not many runs from them. The reason I am going to lean towards Cincinnati here is, again, because of that fastball. So it's a very granular thing that I'm picking at. I don't mind the idea of an over, though, because Nick Martinez is on the bump for Cincinnati, and I don't really want to sit here and act like he's been God or anything like that, right? I mean, he's had a lot of good home starts this year, which is great because he's at home, but he's still, a righty. Miami's hitting righties okay. They're hitting everyone okay right now. They're playing really good baseball. So it's a slight lean to Cincinnati, but I'll give them credit and look at the over because, again, I'm not fully backing this ballpark, the bullpen, or even Nick Martinez at this point. So everything that would kind of make me think that Miami's offense is going to be totally suppressed, I don't really see it, right? So Cincinnati in the over, but if you're on Miami again today for plus money, more power to you. I'm not trying to talk you off of it. Boston taking on Colorado. So this might be, you know how we talked about trying to find a piece to go with that Mets team total over 3.5. This might be a look where we alter both of those total lines for the Red Sox and the Mets down 1 to 3.5 in a parlay here. Kyle Freeland on the mound, and I say all the time, I do think Kyle Freeland, I don't think he's all that bad, right? I think he's gotten a bad little luck of the draw there playing for Colorado, but he is decent. He's a lot better on the road, which is interesting to note for Colorado pitchers because they don't have to pitch in Coors half the time. When they're on the road, they do a little bit better. A little bit of a sign that you're better than what you see, right? But ultimately, I do think that this Red Sox lineup is hitting lefties really well right now. They dropped a bunch of runs yesterday, 4th in average in lefties over the last 30 days, 3rd in WRC+, number 1 in ISO, number 1 in slugging, so hopefully they can get to him. He's going to throw a lot of pitches, fastball, cutter, slider, but all these pitches the Red Sox are hitting well. In fact, the Red Sox are only not hitting the curveball well against, in the last 30 days, I should say 28th, but everything else, their offense is kind of cruising, so what we're looking for is 4 runs out of the Red Sox here. Their odds at minus 246, obviously a little too crazy. But yeah, if they're minus 246, that game total is at 9. I think we're expecting to see 5 runs out of them, which would be more than enough in this sort of a parlay here. And by the way, this is the dashboard, guys. Our Guy Boston Sports dashboard. I make this. I'll explain once we pull it up later on in the video how to get access to it. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to find it yourself, GuyBostonSports.com, head to the members area, and it's pretty self-explanatory. But I'll do more of a walkthrough a little bit later on. But yeah, I'm looking at the Red Sox in this one. But again, their team total over as kind of the only piece of the pie, I guess, in a sense, to be able to get there in full. Just because with the prices that we have, it kind of needs to be a parlay if we want to roll with something here, and that's what we're ultimately probably going to end up doing. So keep an eye on the final place for that. Next up, we have Minnesota taking on the Cubs here. I think I like the Cubs in this one. We have Shota Imanaga on the mound. Hopefully he can give us some innings, obviously coming off of injury. Had a decent, I would say, decent start last time out, but not all that great, I guess. But in terms of pitches, 81 pitches through 5 1/3. That was decent. Only 4 hits, but 3 home runs let up, right? So that's why it's kind of tough to be like, was it decent or not? Because he didn't really allow the runners on base, but the 3 solo shots obviously aren't all that ideal. Now, Simeon Woods Richardson has been pitching really well. Really well, honestly. I think he's got like a either under 2 ERA over his last 5 starts, so we'll give him a little bit of credit there. But ultimately, what this is going to come down to is the fact that I think Imanaga has a little bit of an edge over Woods Richardson. I like the Cubs offense over Minnesota for sure, and then the bullpens, I'm giving that edge to the Cubs as well. So even though it might not be a runaway freight train, how much better I think this Cubs team is right now than this Minnesota squad, I do think that they win at all 3 levels in terms of starting, bullpen, and offense. So yeah, give me the Cubs in this spot. I think you're getting a decent price. Ultimately, in the minus 120s, I think it's super, super fair. This is honestly minus 120 in some places, and then you look across the industry and there's some like minus 145s out there. So if you can snag a good price, I think it might be worth it. Now, when it comes to a total, this is one where I'd probably take a peek at the Cubs team total before, involving the Twins. This Twins offense has looked good, in their last series against Tampa Bay, 5, 8, and 4 runs scored. But prior to that, 1, 2, 0, 0, like they were struggling. So which Twins lineup are we going to get, right? I think the Cubs, I'm going to put a little bit more faith in, their last 10 games here, 3, 4, 12, okay, 0, but 5, 5, okay, 1, 11, 6, 11. They seem to be doing a little bit better as of right now. And on the road this year, the Cubs are averaging nearly 6 runs per game. Crazy. So give me the Cubs in the over, but maybe a specific kind of zero in on the team total over. All right, White Sox taking on Toronto. As crazy as it is, and I'll sound the psycho alert alarm, I do think I look at an under here today. We have Aaron Savale up against Chris Bassett, and the only reason I really do like the under is we have a huge majority pitch that each one of these pitchers is going to throw. The cutter from Savale, the one of the 2 pitches that Toronto doesn't seem to hit well, and then the sinker from Chris Bassett. Obviously, the White Sox barely hit anything well, but the sinker 27th, right? And I sound the psycho alert alarm because it is a little bit crazy to be looking at an under with this Toronto squad lately, right? I do totally understand that, but I'm giving the pitch mix a little bit of credit here. So under 8.5 is what I'm going to lean towards. Again, it could be crazy. Maybe it's better to just look at an under for the team total of the White Sox. They dropped 4 yesterday. Do they do that again today? We shall see. In terms of a side, even though it's expensive, I don't really think that you can get to the White Sox. Savale's numbers against this Toronto team over his career aren't all that tremendous. Chris Bassett's looked pretty well and looked pretty good, and obviously there's no question as to who is the better offense, Toronto, right? So yeah, I think I'm going to lean under, but again, ultimately that is, I feel like, a little risky. So yeah, we'll see if that becomes a final play. But I want to show you guys how to get access to that dashboard that we keep kind of, flipping up there. So guys, over on GuyBostonSports.com, head over to the members area, top right of your screen. This is obviously going to look a little bit different on mobile, but you click MLB dashboard. Now I'm already logged in, so I will see the dashboard each and every game, each and every day. It's broken out, right, in a visual format, so you can go through and kind of spot some edges, I would say, in these games. You can open it up, you can print it out, you can zoom in. Now, is this going to be a, end all be all? This is going to tell you a play? No, you're going to have to use your own brain. But what this does is consolidates 8 to 10 websites on any given day. Some I have auto importing, some I actually do manually with some copying and pasting, and we put it all in front of you in a color coded, easy to read dashboard. You might be thinking, oh my God, easy to read. That's so much stuff. If you take your time with it, you will understand that pitching's over here on the left, right? You have the pitch mix, you have pitcher data, you have batting over the last 30 days, batting versus specific pitches, and then the players against their hand that they're going to be seeing, OPS and average, as well as the pitches that they shall see. We have some team trends up here. We have some weather info at the top as well. If you guys aren't logged in or don't have access just yet, you'll see something that looks like this. It's going to say, hey, you need a membership. We have all sports dashboard, meaning you get all of our dashboards year round here, $6.99, or the MLB for $4.99 per month. So go ahead and check it out, guys. GuyBostonSports.com. Head to that members area. Real quick, adding this in after the fact, because we did have a player prop that I wanted to talk about in that White Sox and Toronto game. It's going to be Edward Carroll here, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Now, it is pretty juiced, but on MGM, you can snag it. On ProfitX, you can snag it. Anywhere else, it might be priced out, but I do like his under just based on him going up against a righty and the pitch mix that he will see. So I wanted to throw that in there, so if you see that on the final plays, it's not like, where the hell did that play come from? Milwaukee taking on the Dodgers, and what has happened to this Dodgers offense? Yesterday, we had them for over 3.5 runs, and I was like, all right, that's at least a safe play, right? It was like minus 150, which is pretty damn juicy. They scored 1 run, and they've scored 1 run in three of their last 4 or 5 games, which is interesting, right? Milwaukee ends up winning that one 9-1. Today, we have Jacob Misorowski on the mound going up against Clayton Kershaw. I think this one will be a decent game to take either side. I know that sounds like I'm being Switzerland here or whatever the saying is, but realistically, you're going to get so many fastballs out of Misorowski. That's the Dodgers' bread and butter, right? And then on the other side of things, you're going to get so many sliders and fastballs out of Kershaw. Milwaukee's been hitting both the slider and the fastball well. So I do think that though we have 2 good pitchers on the mound, and Kershaw's actually been fantastic on the road this year, I kind of like some runs. So I would look at maybe Dodgers team total over here because they can hit the fastball, and or Dodgers on the money line because I think they bounce back at the short price, that type of a thing, or just taking the over, right? What if this Brewers offense just stays hot? They are at home. That's all good. You know what I mean? So we'll see what we end up rolling with in this one. I don't think that this Dodgers drought can last this long or last forever. So it's going to be Dodgers in the over for me. But if you like the idea of Milwaukee getting to Kershaw, it might just be, taking the over, right? I mean, it's not like he has great numbers against this squad either. If you want to back Miso, you like Milwaukee plus money, I get it. This is one, like I said, you can make an argument on either side. I'm not trying to talk you off of it. All right, KC taking on Pitt. This was one of our losses yesterday, and honestly, one of our favorite plays yesterday ended up being a loss. We had the first 5 under, and that thing got smoked in like the 3rd inning, so way to go, Ev. What we end up looking at today is honestly the same thing. We have Mitch Keller and Seth Lugo on the bump. Both these guys have been pitching really well. I mean, Seth Lugo, sneaky. Last 5 starts, 0.6 ERA, averaging just 3 hits per game, pitching into the 6th inning, 7 strikeouts per game, looking pretty damn good. Mitch Keller, not all that bad, right? 1.6 ERA over his last 5 starts as well. So he's been looking pretty damn good. He's really good against righties, which is good to see because there are a lot of righties in this KC lineup. And you can make the exact same argument for Lugo. Really good against righties. A lot of righties in this Pittsburgh lineup. So I do think that this is going to be one that we end up liking today for that first 5 under. Again, the unfortunate thing is that we had it yesterday. So even if we catch this one, it's going to be break even through those 2 unless we go a little bit bigger today. But I do like it. Under 4.5 here in the first 5. Give us 2 at maximum if you really want to. But I do think that Lugo and Mitch Keller can kind of hold down the fort here today. Their pitch mix is going to look pretty good as well. I mean, Seth Lugo throws a million pitches. This is a team that you just don't really want to hang the cutter against, or the change, I guess, against Pittsburgh. But on the other side, Mitch Keller, fastball, slider, fastball, 4th worst in the league. The Royals hitting that one. The slider, 6th worst in the league. So I do think that there's some opportunity there. If I had to pick a side, Lugo has just been better than Keller. Simple as that. And I do think that this Royals lineup is starting to look a little bit better too, right? 9-1, 4-9 over the last 4 games in terms of runs scored. And Pittsburgh, I'm telling you, even though they go on these stretches of looking pretty good, this is just a bad lineup innately. So it's going to be Kansas City, but I do like that under, and I like the first 5 under. Player prop wise, the only reason I like this is a price thing, right? Right now, minus 165 over on DK. You can get Jack Caglione under 1.5 hits, under 1.5 total bases. It's minus 180 and beyond everywhere else. So I don't think that that's as viable for everyone, especially if you don't have a DK book. But I still don't mind his under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I already like the idea of an under, right? So that's good. And meaning I don't think there's going to be too many runs scored and stuff. And then throw in the fact that you're looking at, a guy that does struggle against the righty, does struggle against the slider. That could be a good spot as well. So yeah, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Jack Caglione would be something that I consider. And that's one that we've cashed plenty so far this year. So hopefully that train keeps going. But again, the bases, only if you can get the good price. I'm not telling anyone to pay minus 180 for it, but we got a little value there. 15 cents of value? You can get it at the 165. All right, St. Louis taking on Washington. I would say that this is, I guess, a fairly obvious spot, right? Sonny Gray against Jake Irvin, pitching matchup to St. Louis. I think St. Louis's offense is slightly better as well. The bullpen's definitely better just because I don't like this Washington bullpen. So yeah, St. Louis all the way for me. But that price is kind of alarming, right? Like I don't think it's that much of a discrepancy. Like this Cardinals team has been fairly inconsistent throughout the season. So yeah, I do lean Cardinals, but that price is a little head scratching, I guess I would say. So I'm going to lean St. Louis. I'll take their team total over. I don't really want to involve Washington's, but I do think with that Washington bullpen, St. Louis will have 9 innings to be able to score, or 8, I guess, if they don't get their last at bat. So St. Louis and their team total over is what I'd peek at here. All right, similar spot here than we just talked about. Like we obviously like Houston. They have Hunter Brown on the mound, but that price is a little sketchy, right? It isn't sketchy in the sense that the Astros do have a massive starting pitching advantage, but that's what I want to focus on, right? The starting pitching advantage here. We have Hunter Brown over Joey Cantillo. I would say that Hunter Brown's the guy to back here. Shocker. I will throw in the 2 little spots, maybe a first 5 under for the team total on the Guardians, but also if you want to, I guess it's a little bit more risky, but you're getting a better price, the first 3 under team total. They just can't score in the first 3, which again, there's less margin there, right, in terms of margin forever. But I do like Hunter Brown being able to go out there and kind of shove. I mean, you have this Guardians team that they've only scored 3 runs in their last 10 games, in their last for the first 3. They've done it in 8 of their last 10. On the season, they've done it in 51%. On the road, only 43. On the road against righties doesn't look all that great. But again, the big thing here is kind of their more recent. So if we look at their last 10 road games, 1.2 runs average, so just barely there. But in their last 5, they've only averaged, I think I had that up. Yeah, last 5, they only averaged just 1 run, and they've missed it in 3 of their last 4. So the more granular you get, and the more you focus, I guess, on how bad this Cleveland offense has been lately, the better it looks. So hopefully they don't snap out of it here against a Cy Young candidate in Hunter Brown, which, by the way, we do have a future on Hunter Brown, I do believe, that we just threw in. It wasn't part of our futures video, but yeah, we did end up getting that one, I think, a couple starts ago, which is okay. But anyways, yeah, Houston, I would lean towards them, but look at that price. I don't mind a low-scoring game either, at least on the Cleveland side of things. But I think that first 3, just go out there and have an immaculate start in the beginning, and then 4, 5, 6, who cares what happens in those innings? And I think I look at something similar here in this one. I mean, we have Texas taking on the Angels. I do like Texas on the money line. I think that that's going to be something that we consider today. They ended up losing yesterday, so that's even better. But ultimately, I kind of want to take a peek at somehow suppressing this Angels offense with Nate Eovaldi on the mound. Jose Soriano's on the other side of things, and I do like Soriano, especially when we're taking a peek at some of these first 5 unders and whatnot. I do like the first 5 under, I like the first 3 under. I like all that. I don't know if I love it today just because Soriano doesn't have the best numbers against this Texas lineup historically. So, yeah, maybe we take a peek at Texas in a bounce-back spot here. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have Nate Eovaldi on your side. And then season-long numbers is still a better Texas bullpen than we're seeing on the Angels side. In terms of how taxed they are, I mean, they threw a decent, I think, 3 or 4 guys yesterday, but the Angels threw, Jansen, Dietmers, they threw a decent amount as well. So I think at a price of, what are we getting right now? Minus 106 over on Novig. Again, go sign up for Novig because this is beating every other price in the market by 10 cents. I can't not look at Texas. So yeah, I like a low scoring game because of all these involved, but if he just shuts down this Angels team early and often, I think we have a good chance of cashing this minus 106 play as well on the money line. So give me a under as well as Texas. But again, if you like the first 5 under and you're thinking that's your favorite spot, I think I would agree with you in terms of rolling with it. You know what I mean? Like if you think Soriano can keep this ball on the ground, again, he's not a great pitcher, but what he does phenomenally is keeps that ball on the ground. If you guys made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment 24. You made it past the 24-minute mark, and I can't thank you enough. Don't worry, I'm not going to take too much time getting all sappy saying how thankful I am, but I do just want to let you guys know that I really do appreciate it, especially when we get into what some people call the dog days of the summer, and it's only baseball and all that. You guys are still super supportive of the channel. You got your eyes on the videos, and that really does mean a lot to me, so really appreciate it. I know a lot of people out there are like, baseball's boring, baseball is dead. Try betting on it. You'll love the damn thing, right? So go ahead and comment 24. Let me know that you heard this little mini rant from your boy Ev. Really do appreciate it. But let's get back into the last few games. All right, San Diego taking on Arizona. This one came through for us yesterday. Arizona team total and their money line. Unfortunately, we did not end up having enough on it to kind of make up for some of the other losses that we had, because that money line was a plus money play. We got some good odds on the team total as well. Today, I'm kind of looking at a different direction. I do still think at plus 120, Arizona might be the side that I look at. I know Pivetta is good, and I'm not really taking away from him. But I think that both these pitchers can pitch well. You have Merrill Kelly on one end, Nick Pivetta on the other. Now, Merrill Kelly's been really good this season. He's very good against righties. There's a decent amount of lefties in the San Diego lineup, but still, this lineup has struggled to hit at times, right? And then you have Pivetta, who's been very good at home. So what I'm looking at here, and I don't want to get too greedy and look at a first five because, you know, second time through the order could kind of trip some of these guys up. But a first three under 2.5, I think could make its way onto our card today. Give Kelly one time through the order, and then Pivetta one time through the order, and hopefully they can kind of get out of there and make us some hay, right? So I like that. Obviously, we're expecting somewhat of a low-scoring game given the fact that this total is down at 7.5. But I do think that, you know, later on in the game, Arizona's bullpen could look a little iffy. We've already seen San Diego kind of definitely look a little iffy late in games, and some of their guys have gotten a lot of work recently, so I don't want to jump at a full game under. I think the smaller inning sample that you have here, the better chance of an under coming through. So famous last words, I know that, but yeah, I'm going to lean towards a first three under, maybe a first five under, but Arizona, if I had to pick a money line side, I hate to fade Pivetta at home, but Kelly's been good. You know, Kelly's been a very good pitcher. He doesn't have the name that Pivetta has, though. All right, I'll tell you, I did try to figure out ways to get to the Phillies today, right? Especially after scoring one run yesterday. Their offense was starting to look okay. But T1 Walker against Robbie Ray, I just can't seem to get there. So this is a San Francisco spot for me. They're at home. You know, it could be, if it's a low scoring game, I think that's going to favor Robbie Ray because all the Giants might need is like, you know, 3 or 4 runs the entire game. So yeah, Giants in the under for me, but man, I tried like hell to get to Philadelphia because getting the Phillies offense, regardless of injuries and all that, I mean, I shouldn't say regardless, but even with injuries being considered here, the fact that you can get them at like plus 140 today, that makes me want to jump at it. But again, I can't really find the weakness in Robbie Ray or the benefit of backing T1 Walker, who has some good numbers against this Giants squad, but just not backable right now, in my opinion. Athletics taking on the Braves. We have Jeffrey Springs against Didier Fuentes. Jeffrey Springs has looked good at times, right? I keep saying that in these videos, and the Braves don't hit lefties all that well. The problem is the minus 105, minus 107 price. It's like, I don't think I want to be backing this Athletics team, their offense, their bullpen, even Jeffrey Springs in a sense, at that price. So, you know, I guess for the money that we'd be getting, it's time to back Didier Fuentes. Being able to get like a pick'em with this seems smart. I mean, he's like a 9 ERA. I'm not trying to back him up or gas him up or anything, but to me, like, I thought that this might be a nice little spot. Lefty at home against the Braves might be a spot to back Oakland, Sacramento, or the Athletics. Still can't get that right. We're halfway through the year, but I just don't think I can get there. So yeah, it's going to be Braves for me. Yeah, you're getting a good price, but again, you're getting a good price because of Didier Fuentes. Like, that needs to be abundantly clear. In terms of the total, maybe I'll lean towards an under. That gives Springs a little bit of an availability and ability to go out there and pitch well. And yeah, I still don't love this Athletics offense, right? But guys, it's going to wrap it up for today's show. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, smack that like button. Subscribe down below. Make sure you're getting those hashtag ride of the days in there as well. Check out our MLB dashboard and check out Novig. Anything that we promote on the channel, I always think has a value and benefit to you guys. So yeah, go ahead and check those things out, and we'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.